Hello guys, welcome to Enongishu Conservancy.
My name is Lawrence Olembelati and I am the General Manager for Enonkishu and Bogishi. These are two conservancies at the Northern Mara ecosystem. The size of Enonkishu is 6,000 acres. It is a conservancy that is being owned by over 47 landowners, and out of the 47 landowners, 17 of them are women who are also receiving leases, and that is an indication to tell you that women are also involved in conservation.
Enongishu Conservancy began unofficially around 2010, but officially in 2015. And the name Enongishu is a Maa word that means a place where wildlife and livestock and people thrive together. Back in 1994, there was a conservancy called Olchororogwe Conservancy, which comprised of the now Olchororogwe Conservancy, which is our neighbor, Enongishu Conservancy, and some parts of Mbokishi Conservancy. But around 1998, we encountered some challenges and we parted ways. So Enongishu Conservancy, or rather 3 or 4 families got out of the original Choro Conservancy, and they took another initiative. They went into some other economic activity, which is agriculture. They got an investor who came and started the cultivation in Enongishu, in some part of Enongishu, largely the southern part, which covers the Mara River, who was called Hugo Wood. The reason why we split is because of politics and some family issues. And later on, around 2013, the family of Hugo Wood decided to go the tourism way. There before, when they did agriculture, they did maize first, and they did French beans again, and it wasn't a good venture, knowing that this is a wildlife area, and they encountered some challenges. Again, he went into beef farming, or rather slaughtering beef for commercial purposes. During that time, we started interacting with him and doing the livestock beef farming, or rather fattening of livestock, and selling to the abattoir that he had. That is where now the interaction came in. So in 2015, we came together, we converged our ideas, the Enongishu community, and comprising of the 4 or 5 families, plus the Hugo family, they converged the ideas into something that now called Enongishu. It began in this way. He had his own land, we had our own land. We were not benefiting as much as we wanted. He wasn't doing well also in his business. And we decided now that it's high time that we think together and we bring our ideas together. And that's where now we came into thinking of wildlife management and tourism. So we brought our lands together as families, as individuals, because this place is private. He brought his own ideas as a tourism partner. He decided that he's going to look for investors, or look for rather tourism or guests who can come and see wildlife, because we had a lot of wildlife. And we came together and started the Enongishu Conservancy, where we are now. We had a responsibility of paying the leases, of ensuring the land is okay, of ensuring that the wildlife is safe, and making sure that all these factors, or all these stakeholders, coexist together harmoniously.
my name is Mike Oriata. I work as a ranger in Enongishu Conservancy because I'm working as a commander. I'm here for protect flora and fauna. Long time ago, almost 4 years back, we really have a conflict between community and conservancy. Then because I remember when people know when the animal go like a jumbos or elephant, they go to the chambers there, they just destroy some crops there. When we go to as rangers there, people they just come with the pangas or machetes. They just want to kill the rangers, but at least after coming as a Enongishu Conservancy, we create employment for our community, near community, and then we create awareness about the importance of wildlife and cows or grazing. So the people they come understand about what is the importance of wildlife. So for now, at least people they really understand what is the importance of conservation and the community.
Kwa majina ninaitwa Paul Kaelo, Sergeant Mbokishi, Enongishu. Kazi ya Rangers tunapokuwa uwanja, tunaleta usalama kati ya wanyama na wanadamu. Hapo awali wanyama walikuwa wanaogopa wanadamu sana, lakini vile saizi ukijaribu hata kuangalia wanyama wako na peace, jinsi wanapoangalia hii uniform, kuna attraction fulani ambayo inakubaliana wanapoangalia Rangers wanakuwa na ile freedom. Na katika uwanja wetu pia tunaangalia maslahi ya wanyama. Ikiwa kuna mnyama mgonjwa, tunaitanga wadaktari na wanakuja kutibu. Ikiwa pia kuna mnyama ambaye amewekwa mtego, pia tunawashughulikia. So harmony ya wanyama na sisi ni ya maana sana.
So we have the tourism partners, we have the landowners, we have the livestock. As you know that this area is a Maasai land, and you know how Maasais live. They cannot do without livestock. So in that period we decided to bring in or to put up a model that caters for both the tourism partners and the landowners, predominantly the Maasai. And trying to separate the Maasai with the cows, it's a big challenge and it is nearly impossible. So rather than separating or taking the livestock away or rather cattle away, we incorporated the livestock into the system or the model. And that's where Enongishu is the unique model in the entire Mara region. The reason why we incorporated the livestock into this model is because, first, as I mentioned, you cannot do or separate the livestock from the Maasais. Secondly, the livestock, as we came to learn later, or we learned through various stakeholders and benchmarking visits and trips, it's like a tool that improves the rangeland within this area. Some people normally think that livestock destroy the area, but that's not the case. It is the management or it is the practices of the human beings that destroy the land. And we decided to manage the livestock within Enongishu in a way that rather than destroying the land, it improves the rangeland.
At Enongishu, we have 2 herds of cows. That's one for the landowners and another one for conservancy, which is well known as herd for growth. These 2 herds are graze together and also go together, which we bunch them together for ecological reasons. In 2022, the population was 1,300 cows, which was not good for conservation because it's above the carrying capacity, and we have managed in 2025, and now we have a population of 593, which is very manageable and also within the conservancy carrying capacity.
First, we decided now that the grass is not sufficient for both wildlife and livestock, we bring the livestock numbers down so that the grass can come up. So that is trying to solve the issue of overgrazing. To combat that, or rather to cure that problem, we decided that we need to take care of our land. We need to take care of our land, and the land will take care of us. We did something called, we came up with a grazing plan.
My name is Leshan Nampaso, research assistant in Nonkishu Conservancy. Nonkishu Conservancy main core is about livestock and tourism. And if we talk about livestock, in Nonkishu we are using livestock as a tool. That is in terms of grass regeneration. In holistic plant grazing, this is where we move livestock around the conservancy in a particular or in an organized manner, whereby we've subdivided the conservancy into 9 grazing blocks. And these blocks are different in sizes and also the terrain and the grass in them. And these are some of the things that we consider when we're doing a grazing plan. Is in each block, we look at the quality of the grass, we look at water availability, we look at the accessibility of the block, and we also look at the terrain. This will determine how many days the cows will stay in a block. Another thing that determines what a good grazing plan should be is actually the grass recovery period. The grass recovery period is the period where it takes a grass to grow from when it has been eaten to regrow again to a level that it can be grazed. And that is what will determine how many days exactly the cows will stay in a block. So in a grazing plan, we have what we call planned days. That is what we project on paper, or what we project the grazing will be like. And there is actual grazing days. This comes in when we go to a particular block. Let's say, for example, block 7, the one that we are now, is we planned that the cows will spend 20 days in this particular block. But then when you come, the grass level is high, and then the cows end up spending more days in that block. So we have to readjust the grazing days, and that will be actually the actual grazing days in that block. And for example, we come to a block and maybe we overestimated the grass in the block, and the cows spent less days in that particular block. So we also consider that, and this is very useful in the next grazing plan, because we will sit down with the older grazing plan and see what happened and where do we need to change. In the grazing plan also, we consider wildlife in a way that we have wildlife corridors, and we also have wildlife related diseases that can affect the cows. So let's say, for example, malignant Cantarus fever, which is a disease caused by wild beasts. We know that in this particular season, or in this particular month, in this grazing plan, we have wild beast calving. So we try and keep our cows off from that block to avoid cows contracting such a disease. And also we sometimes have ground nesting birds like the crown cranes, which nest in the conservancy. We also put that into consideration so that we don't disrupt their breeding season.
I am Danson Kaelo, the Assistant Manager, Mbokishi Mara Conservation Area. Mbokishi is a conservancy adjacent to Enongishu Conservancy on the eastern boundary. Enongishu has become a pillar of being an example, a perfect example of community conservation. Enongishu's success has greatly impacted our community to start their own conservancy. Enongishu's success has helped us to establish also the idea of starting a conservancy, because we've seen their success in grazing management, rangeland management, tourism, and their idea of pastoralism. So basically, what we envisioned as Mbokishi Conservancy or the people of Mbokishi is literally being done in Enong Gishu.
The benefits that the landowners, or rather the communities around Enong Gishu, are benefiting or enjoying, we have two types of benefits. We have direct and indirect benefits. Direct benefits is something like leases, whereby the landowners or those who own land or who have leased their land to the conservancy benefit. There are fees that is paid to landowners in 3 times a year in our case.
My name is Saitun Kureta. I work at Enong Gishu as the finance manager. Our revenues varies from conservation fees to donation. That is, we get our conservation fees from the guests that access our wildlife protected areas, the conservancies. We also get from ecotourism enterprises, for instance, the Naritoi homes, House in the Wild, Wild Hub, Wild Hill, and we're able to support all our leases that we pay in 3 times in a year. And this has really improved the welfare of our landowners. It has improved their financial stabilities. They are able to support their families well. We also have a livestock initiative that has also provided the revenue beyond the tourism. This has improved the land management, the land health, and the value of the cattle. We also get some support from our partners, the donations. We benefit from the donations. For instance, the Ultra Marathon funds we usually get every year. This has enabled us to sustain the rangers, the security activities. We get the uniforms for them. We got motorbikes that has helped us in the mobility, their movement from one point to another point.
In Enong Gishu, which is, by the way, the most unique, the landowners of Enong Gishu are able to get a health insurance from the conservancy. Something that you cannot see in the entire Mara, something that Enong Gishu has started. Another benefit of landowners, or direct benefit, is the improvement of their livestock breed, or rather their livestock, health-wise and revenue-wise. Because now their livestock are fetching better prices than 10 years ago, where we started the conservancy. So landowners are now selling their livestock at better prices than there before, or even better than our neighbors. We've reduced the bare land to less than 1%. That means a better soil, better biodiversity, and better biodiversity means better livestock, better wildlife, better environment, better climate, and that is the goal. It's even a global vision. Our communities, or the community which is neighboring Enong Gishu, are enjoying indirect benefits. Enong Gishu is employing people from outside the landowners, and that's a direct benefit to them. We've managed to reduce now human-wildlife conflict, and it's because of the security that we've put into our conservancy and the management that we are putting into the conservancy to ensure that our neighbors are benefiting from whatever we are doing here. Also, during drought periods, we Enong Gishu allow our neighbors to graze their livestock in some parts of our conservancy, just to make sure that they also don't suffer as we enjoy abundant grass.
Naikule Shao, administrator.
Conservation Education Coordinator and Volunteers Program Coordinator in Onkishu Conservancy. Onkishu Conservancy has successfully been partnering with different partners across the landscape, Mara Elephant Project, Mara Predators, and Women in the Wild. In working closely with Women in the Wild, in collaboration, they've been able to support many schools in conservation education by providing basic skills and also providing things that the students need and that are in line with conservation. This has helped really well in mitigating the human-wildlife conflict across the communities in the Conservancy. The Conservancy has worked closely with the community, whereby they have a response team. They respond quickly to human-wildlife conflict, and this has really created a good relationship between the Conservancy and the community. By providing this education, both in schools and in the community, it helps the community to understand that we are together in this journey of conservation, and also to improve the relationship across the landscape.
In a nutshell, that is Enonkishu Conservancy, and we just say thank you very much, and we say welcome to Enonkishu, the gem of the Mara.